Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. Happy Tuesday. We're doing 3 separate videos, so I'm not sure which one you guys have seen or haven't seen since I released them all at the same time. But this one is going to be based on Jaden Yuki. And now, like I said yesterday, maybe you didn't catch that. Maybe you didn't see that video. But yesterday what I said was we will be reviewing or going over the decks, the way the Konami actually presented them per box. So this is what your deck would look like if you only had one box, didn't modify using anything else. So the skill that they say to go with is the Here Goes Something skill. And this is actually my favorite of the 2 Jaden skills. So once per duel, you can activate this skill at the start of your battle phase while you control exactly one elemental hero monster and no other monsters. For the remainder of this turn, that one monster gains 800 attack while battling opponent's monsters and can attack all monsters the opponent controls once each. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn after this. So pretty amazing, and it can definitely lead you to a game scenario. Best case scenario is going to be Flame Wingman. It's just going to be amazing. So real quick, it is a 20 card build. And the other thing that really separates this is they put a full 6 card extra deck together for this. So it's fantastic. So it's going to be 1 copy Avion, 1 Blade Edge, 1 Bubble Man, 1 Burstinatrix, 1 Clayman, 1 copy Necroshade, 1 Spark, 1 Wild Heart. So right there, just that much. This lineup already looks like one of my Solidarity builds for heroes, which I used to enjoy. They also use Goddess of the Third Eye, Winged Karibo, and Rottweiler. So just about half. Looks like 11. Going into the spells, they use a single Fusion Recovery, Fusion Sage, Polymerization, R Righteous Justice, Reinforcement of the Army, and 1 Skyscraper. Again, all good choices. Cool that they didn't make the Skyscraper into a skill, but again, I feel like they could have. The traps are 1 copy Hero Emerges and 1 Hero Signal, and where did the Negate Attack go? And the 1 Negate Attack. So let me just, it's easier for me to move that than anything else. So again, fairly well balanced. Definitely looks like something from the show. Going into the extra deck, it's going to be 1 copy Dark Bright, 1 Flame Wingman, 1 Rampart Blaster, 1 Plasma Vice, Steam Healer, and Thunder Giant. So just about every combination that you can make using the heroes in this build is represented here to an extent. There are obviously some that are going to be missing. Again, as far as the structure, they didn't put as much filler in here as I thought they were going to. Because again, you can't just imagine that everybody's going to have their polymerizations from previous sets like the Battle City or anything like that. Fusion Sage, good new drop. Fusion Recovery, that's okay. It's a nice little reprint. Obviously, any of the hero cards are all new. Winged Karibo could be very fun if we get Flute of Summoning Karibo sometime soon. Could be one of those like little niche moves. Additionally, I like the fact that since it is a smaller deck, they didn't give us Stratos or Prisma. So again, keeps this deck to being a little more fair. But again, I don't think we have a ban list yet. That's something I should have checked before I filmed this. So you can just, just use 3 copies of Reinforcement of the Army and realistically just play the deck however you guys want. As far as what everything does, I think everybody here should know. We'll go over it once just in case. Again, we already did the skill, and I'm trying to make these videos kind of bite-size, a little smaller than usual. And depending on how it goes, I might just combine later videos together instead of making 9 different videos. So real quick, Avion is here for his name, obviously, for the fusions. He's going to be for going into, looks like, just the Flame Wingman for now. Blade Edge, he's going to be our big guy. He's our 2 tribute. He's the reason we're going to have the Necroshade in the deck. And he can cause piercing damage. So he's pretty cool. But again, if we had Prisma, we would be able to show off a card like Dark Bright, throw the Necroshade, auto-load the discard pile. And if we had emergency call instead of reinforcement, we would also be able to just go ahead and grab the Blade Edge. So it's a different play style altogether, and it will probably be a little harder to play here in Speed Duel. Bubble Man, awesome card. If this is the only card in your hand, you could special summon it from the hand. If this card is special summoned, you could draw 2 cards. Sorry, when this is special summoned, you can draw 2 cards. But in order to do so, you must control no other cards and have no cards in hand to activate and resolve. So you literally have to have just this, nothing on the field, nothing in the hand, except him. Special summon and get your draw 2. But it's okay. It works out sometimes. Also, you're going to be needing him for the Steam Healer. Yeah, just a Steam Healer. And we needed Blade Edge for the Plasma Vice. Burstinatrix actually going to be popping into 3 of these today. It's going to be for Steam Healer with Bubble Man. It's going to be for Rampart Blaster with Clayman. And it's going to be for Flame Wingman with Avion. So very cool. Also Warrior. They're all Warriors. Clayman is our defensive unit here. Pretty cool guy. He's the only 2K defense that I can remember in the main heroes. I do believe there was like a premium pack or something that introduced some off-brand heroes. And there were some additional ones that were from the manga or something. And that's when they finally got another 2K defender. Clayman's going to help you going into the Rampart Blaster and the Thunder Giant. Necro Shade, once while this card is in the graveyard, you can normal summon a level 5 or higher elemental hero without tributing. Again, the trick here is going to be getting him into the discard pile. One way that we do that is we just fuse him with our Sparckman in order to create that Dark Bright. So obviously he's used for Dark Bright. And that would help you load him in the discard while building up your field. And then, of course, there's Sparckman. He's one of the better non-effect attack values. He's going to be at 16. Again, Dark Bright with your Necro Shade. With Blade Edge, it'll become Plasma Vice. And with Clayman, it can become Thunder Giant. So again, right next to Burstinatrix right now with the amount of utility that he has. And Wild Heart. Wild Heart, not actually going into anything in the extra deck. Just unaffected by traps. So just, they don't affect him. You could activate Torrential Tributes if it was here. In response to his summon, everything would pop but him. It'd be fine. He is pretty cool. I do like seeing cards like Wild Edge later. We might get those later on down the road. Goddess with the Third Eye is one of the fusion substitutions. So you could use this as any one fusion material mentioned on a card, but the other materials have to be correct. So in an instance of the heroes, this plus any hero equals whatever that other hero could be made into. So Winged Kribo, great defensive card, really helps you buy a turn if you have to. If this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, it doesn't matter by battle or effect. For the rest of the turn, you take 0 battle damage. So good card, great card. Rottweiler is one of our little recycles. And outside of our Wing Kriba, I think he's the only non-warrior in the build. So if this is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, target 1 elemental hero card and 1 polymerization card in the graveyard and add them both back to the hand. I do believe there have to be 1 of each in order to resolve the effect. It's not one of those do as much as you can effects. And of course, it is only by battle. So effect destruction is going to help you here. Fusion recovery is half of that. Target a polymerization. Or no, I guess it's the whole thing. Target a polymerization in the graveyard and a fusion monster in the graveyard that were used as material for a fusion summon. Add them back. The difference between this and Rottweiler is, with Rottweiler, they could have been sent there by other means, whether they were destroyed, used, or whatever. Fusion Sage adds 1 polymerization from deck to hand. Polymerization is our fusion catalyst. Our Righteous Justice allows you to destroy spell traps on the field equal to the number of elemental hero cards you control. Reinforcement of the army, add a level 4 lower warrior from the deck to the hand. Skyscraper, if an elemental hero monster attacks a monster with a higher attack, the attacking monster gains 1,000 during damage calculation only. And again, this is how he beats Crowler in the, the first episode, second episode? I'm not sure if they wrapped it up in one. Hero Emerges, he uses this all the time in the show. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, they have to choose a card in your hand. Then if that card is a monster card, it's special summoned, and it can be special summoned, then special summon it, otherwise send it to the graveyard. And again, be like Jaden. Wait till you only have 1 card in your hand to activate it, and force cards like Blade Edge back out onto the field. Hero Signal, when a monster you can... no, I was right. I'm getting ahead of myself. When a monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon a level 4 lower elemental hero from the hand or deck. And I love the fact that it lets you get from the deck. And then good old negate attack. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target that monster, negate the attack, end the battle phase. One good thing, since it does say target, my obelisk is immune somehow to negate attack. So that's a thing. Now for the real flair. I think everybody knew those cards. Let's talk about the fusion monsters. So we're going to start with Darkbright. Again, Spark plus Necro. Must be fusion summoned. If this card attacks a defense monster, inflict piercing. If it does attack, change it to defense during the end of the damage step. Damage, not battle phase, so do keep that in mind. If this card is destroyed, target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. So again, it'll get a little bit of a revenge kick. Flame Wingman, probably my favorite and the most iconic, and also widely available for common charity now because everything in this set was common. Avion and Burst Tricks to make, 21 by 12 on the stats. Must be fusion summoned. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to the opponent equal to the attack of the destroyed monster in the graveyard. So again, if we were to attack, and just using the cards on the table, attack Avion with Flame Wingman, normally it'd be 1100 damage. It's going to act like a direct attack because it's going to take another 1000 in effect. So they're splitting it up. This may trigger some other card effects. We'll see what ends up happening. I do expect to see this guy as a top table threat here soon. We do have the Rampart Blaster, Clayman and Burst Tricks, and again, highly defensive, 2k by 25. Must be fusion summoned, and I think they're all going to say this. This card can attack directly while in defense position. If it does, apply the attack for damage calculation. And okay, let me try that again. The wording got me. It can attack while in defense directly. Use the attack value at half. So it'll attack for 1000 direct. And I think this is because there were some cards that could attack from defense outside of total defense Shogun that may have actually used their defense as their attack value. But the wording got me there for a quick second. Plasma Vice, one of my favorites. Must be fusion summoned. If it attacks defense, inflict piercing, may discard a card. Target one attack position monster your opponent controls. Destroy target. And again, beat stick 26 by 23. Very good. Steam Healer, one I never really used. Burst plus Bubble. Again, must be fusion summoned. If this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, gain life equal to the original attack of that monster in the graveyard. So again, it is a little weaker. It's only at 18, but again, they did release the fusion weapon, so you can add an extra 15, turn it to a 3,300-point beast, and just go at them. And then the last but not least character is one of my favorites again, Thunder Giant. Like everybody else, must be fusion summoned. Once per turn, you can discard one card. Target a monster on the field with an original attack less than or less than this attack. The attack of this card no longer equal to. May never have been equal to. So it has to be less than 2400 original attack. But that said, if the monster has an augmented attack because of an equipped card, we do not use the augmented value. So again, you can take out something that is more powerful conditionally. So that's very cool. And that's going to be the Jaden Yuki one. Now again, I think this is going to be one of the easiest ones to upgrade, guys. Just simply speaking, even if you were just to use 3 of what we have here, is there like what you should use? You can maximize out your Avion and Burst Tricks. Add in the Sparks plus the Blade Edge and the Necro Shades. Maybe dropping the Clayman and the Wild Heart and the Bubble Man altogether. Playing it tighter towards those. And then playing more Fusion Sages, a couple copies of Polymerization. The Righteous Justice is cool. But again, we can use the Night Beams that came in this. Or we could use our Cosmic Cyclones that came in this box. Reinforcement of the Army, you can increase this. It's going to increase your odds of everything but the Blade Edge and Necro Shade. So again, play carefully around that. You may or may not want the Skyscraper. One of the things I would watch out for are tech cards. So a lot of the time, Book of Moon may disrupt you. Waking the Dragon again, depending on how hard you hit the back row. You could get locked out by somebody playing Ojama Knight or King. And again, there are ways to overpower this. I do think like Interconflict decks may still have a good chance of competing against this and still doing well. So at least with the base of here goes something box built elemental heroes, this isn't a bad one, and it's probably the best, again, because you have a full extra deck. It just gives you the most inboard options that just fall in line with your archetype. So that's a thing. So again, real quick, guys, if you liked this, do all of the things, especially the having a great day. And if you saw this one first, Crowler and Brody are still up for you. So maybe go check those ones. Maybe take a break, go grab lunch, and then watch those ones after. So whatever you like. See you guys on the next video. Later.